Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Yeah, I made a video. I'll leave it in the card for you. A video about a visit to a junkyard. And I got some parts to leave in the card for you. And now I'll do some recovery procedures here. Yeah, on the motherboards, while the two motherboards that I recovered are here. Yeah, I've already cleaned a bit, except the capacitor. I've already even removed the capacitors. 6.3 volts, 2200 microfarads. This one is more, there's even something kind of odd here, but it's fine. This one is more affordable for me to try to recover. I need the capacitors, I don't have them. And this one has them. And this one is more worn. It's even here with the black marks. It initially looked like dirt, but I've already done the tests. I've even removed some capacitors here. And I've condemned this board. I won't waste my time with it. Someone might say, oh, but it can be recovered. Maybe it can, but I need the capacitors. I bought a quantity, I bought 100 capacitors, and all of them came defective. Of the 195 were swollen. Yes, some already swelled while stored, and others swelled after being placed on the board, which is from this. The model here, look, of up to, even the seller on Macedonia refunded my money, and I discarded it. I kept some that were good, but they started to swell gradually, probably due to age. So I will need, I've already pulled a few out here. I will need to scrap this board here. Waiting for the soldering iron. I even have two different soldering irons here with different temperatures, right? Different power. Because when removing, you don't have to be as careful than to put them in, right? And then I will solder on the other board and show you the tests to see if it will work. These boards are quite old. These boards must be at least 25 to 28 years old. It must be from the year 2000, right? The launch of the Duron Athlon was around the year 2000, 2001. So they are boards, mostly PC chips, most of them. You see the other one also has no identification, but it has the X530 chipset. Notice that this one only has one chipset. The video is not on board, right? The video, actually it is on board, but it's inside the chipset, not in the processor, not integrated. And it only has one chip. You see it doesn't have the south bridge. It has a chip central. The same thing happens with this one over here. It is a SIM 530, also a chipset. However, it is, yeah, it also only has one chip, control chips. So they are boards. Low performance due to the onboard video, right? Everything's in here, right? There's the SI530, probably the SI5593 if I'm not mistaken, which is the chip. Chip that would be the south bridge. Everything embedded in a single chip. It's a PD. I wanted to recover it because it's AT and ATX, but we'll have other opportunities. This one I've decided to scrap. So I'll start removing the capacitors, and soon we'll continue with the tests. Well, guys, I think this one here is already good. I'll take out the heatsink here because sometimes it can be useful. This one often comes with glue. It comes with adhesive, double-sided. I don't even know if, it will insulate anything. It should be thermal paste. Yeah. So I make use of everything I can here. Oh, this BIS, for example, I even wrote 530 on it. And I'm going to remove it because we might need it, right? I might have some other board around. I ended up keeping those BIOS for a long time and ended up losing them. Oh, in a flood that happened here in my area that I used for storage. So I threw them away, even though I didn't need them, right? They were, so water doesn't get inside the chip. But I ended up throwing it away, thinking I would never use it, as I did with several things. So I'll keep it. I am getting new opportunities. We don't always get the same opportunity twice. So I'll keep it. If I can break this here. Ready. So there are two boards that I am deboning and removing the BIOS. In fact, there are two more that I already removed, which are different BIOS, which is the BIOS that stays inside a little square. Anyway, I have a battery tester here, actually. I don't usually reuse batteries, no. But I don't know if I put in a new battery. Do now here during some test on this little battery then, so as not to lose. This one here is old. Both of them are. They are bad. This is the number of batteries that I'm going to dispose of properly. But look at the number of boards. These batteries I have already replaced in the past 2 months.
3.
Well, so this one is scrapped. I will even remove, I like to save this little piece here too. We might need it to adapt. I even have a video to edit where I managed to change the battery of a timer that comes with an embedded battery, and I used one of these parts to put in an external battery. There you go. Removing is the easiest, right? There. Is this some document? 1, 2, 3, 4. Are there more stored? 5. Well, let me see what else is here. What's missing? No. I will remove these circuits that I have plenty stored. That's it. So now let's try to recover the other board. I won't replace some of the smaller capacitors because these capacitors don't usually bulge. It's rare for me to have to replace one of this model. So now comes the harder part, which is installing the capacitor. I've already removed about 6 capacitors here. There's still one here that I replaced from the last replacement I did, but it didn't bulge. So here I have the capacitors I'm going to use, which are 6.3 volts, 2200 microfarads. Let me separate 6 here. Since they're not swollen, I won't even test them. I won't even use the multimeter to consider them good, because they're not swollen. I believe that from the hand position, it should be here. So I try to put it right into the little hole that already exists there. Often the little hole is covered because of the solder, which sometimes, the way it is removed, the solder still covers it. It's just that the position is kind of awkward. It must be everything I'm sure about yours. That's really bad, huh? I'll walk here, I'll see if I can. Now this one it's going. Done. You see it's already caught. Now the other side, which is the hardest, let me see. Not sure if you won't be able to see it with the magnifying glass. I have to support it on the right little hole. Yeah, that's right. And now I'm going to do the following so you can see the level of difficulty. I'm not an expert. I believe there will be some of you who will do this very well. I'm not a specialist. So I'm an amateur, but I have friends who are electronics technicians. And they do this in the blink of an eye. I'd say they could probably do it with their eyes closed. Comment below what you think. If there would be a better way to do it, if there is, in the next video I make, I'll use that technique. But for now, with what I have on hand, in terms of knowledge, this is it. It's a bit challenging to... It's off. Right, it'll be fine. Now maybe he'll join in. Wow, it worked, but I'm in the right spot. Let me look again. I have a solder sucker, but I don't know how to use it properly. It would probably clean the hole there for me to put the... Yeah, it's in the right little hole. It's just not melting. You know, it's not hot enough there. Let me put a little bit of solder because the solder helps with the heat. I think it's the hole is very small, right? And it's very close to the track, so I'm very concerned about damage those traces.
Ready.
Now I'm satisfied. It looks different, but it's the same specification, so that's what matters. Now let's go to the bench test. Logically, I don't know if the processor here is good, but maybe some processor swaps need to be made. Well, let's go to the test. Alright folks, let's test it now. I'm going to restore the BIOS again, which is good because it will make some difference in the processor setup. Let's turn it on. If it works, I'll end the video, and later I'll make a video installing the programs. Installing the hard drive init. Yeah, no, it didn't work either. Let me fiddle with the memory because sometimes we move it around here and there, and the memory, it might have a bad connection. Thank you, friend. Oops. It worked. Hey, it worked. These memories need a cleaning. Yeah, it showed up as Duo 1050, but I'm suspicious that it could be more. Let me see here if I can change it. Yeah, it also registered as the case fan Duron, and it recognized the frequency locked at 100 megahertz. I can change the memory. Duron 1050.
Yes, from the man.
Huh! Strange. The ideal is what is without top. What can we do? I could change the frequency here to 103, but let's leave it at 100. It doesn't matter. Let me see if on the motherboard there's any locking jumper. There is. Let me put in the battery, new battery. Well, testing the brand new battery. It's a test I have. It's already old. Working. I will turn it off to put in another battery. Battery. Funny, I didn't hear any sound. Well, let's turn it on again. I changed the position here of the camera. The problem is that now there's a reflection. Let's see if it will work. That's enough. No one. It's reflective. Well, that's it. I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to finish setting up the clock here. Let's see if it will save, because sometimes the boards tend to have some saving issues, maybe due to age. Today is February 3rd. Notice that it says 2001 there, right? The processor 2999, and then the card 2001. Let's put 2025 here. Wow, huh? Time can't do anything. 25 years, really tough there. 25. The time is 9:37. I'm typing, but it's not accepting. We saved it. I'm going to turn it off. I turned it off. Let's see if it saves. Well, okay. Memory that was working, I will close it. It shows here at the beginning. Then 128 makes 131,000 kilobytes. Then it separates 16 for video memory. So the card is a MM810 LR630. It's not CIS 630, no. The CIS 530 are generally the K6. CIS 630, Pentium's 100, some. Not Pentium, Pentium 4 some. Some Duron as well. And this one, CIS 730. Great, we're together. I hope you all liked it. Share and subscribe to the channel. Stay with God and see you in the next video.